Hello there and welcome friends! This video is all about Finnean, the talking weapon, the very special weapon ally that you can find in Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Finnean can certainly be a very powerful ally, as he can change into any weapon that you are proficient in for maximum versatility, and even has some very unique and powerful properties as you upgrade him. So let's get started on how to find him first. Alright, so to get Finnean you first have to recruit WOLJIF in the basement of the tavern area during the beginning of chapter 1. Just talk to WOLJIF, then to Irabeth, and you'll get to recruit him. After recruiting WOLJIF, you unlock the Tiefling's hideout area, and this is where you have to go next. So just head there, talk with Sister Karimay Tiefling, and say you'll find a real traitor. Now you have to talk to Irabeth again, back at the tavern. After talking with Irabeth, you'll finally unlock the Ancientries and Wonders Shop map area, which is the final place we have to go to get Finnean. So let's head there, select this little hand icon here, right close to the entrance, and there we go, you'll find Finnean. Now this is how Finnean actually works. Notice that after getting him, whenever you head to your inventory, you'll get this little section down here called Finnean. Select it, and then you'll get to either talk with Finnean by selecting Start Dialogue, or if you click down here in this little section, choose whatever weapon type you want Finnean to become, and this is based on the weapons your character is proficient in. As my character is a hunter who has martial weapons proficiency, he can turn Finnean into basically any of the martial weapons. So let us pick glaive for example. Select it. Now simply hold the left mouse click to drag it to one of your main weapon slots. Let's put it here. And there we go, we are now equipped with the glaive version of Finnean. Now as for what weapons to actually turn Finnean into, well, of course it's going to depend on your main character and what weapon they are using, but most importantly, weapon availability. For example, in the early game you can find a lot of bardishes, glaives, longswords as usual, and some composite longbows and shortbows. On the other hand, as far as some weapon types, there's basically nothing like falchion, falchard, great swords most infamously. And of course the rarer weapon types like star knife, trident, and so on. So it can certainly help you turn Finnean into one of these, that is, assuming one of your characters uses them. At the very least, until you can find a good weapon through the loot drops, so you can leave Finnean for someone else. Now just a quick reminder, you can actually give Finnean to any of your allies, not just the main character, such as by turning it into a throwing axe and giving it to my WENDUAG for example. But only a single character can have Finnean equipped at a time. At the very beginning, Finnean will be a +1 Cold Iron Ghost Touch weapon, which is quite powerful really. First, Cold Iron means Finnean gets to easily pierce all of the demon's physical resistance, and you do face a lot of them even as early as chapter 1. Second, the Ghost Touch property means Finnean will deal normal damage against incorporeal creatures, which is just fine for the infamous Shadow Demon encounter in chapter 1, and also those very annoying shadows that you meet in the marketplace area. Now Finnean's power doesn't just end here, because we can actually upgrade him to a very powerful +3 version, as I'm about to show you. Now the first upgrade to Finnean will only happen at chapter 3. As soon as chapter 3 starts, you'll get this quest to head to Wintersun and find the missing Crusaders, and this is where you have to go. Now once inside Wintersun, to find the missing Crusaders, all you have to do is head to the Wintersun village, this area here, to the southern part of the map, then go to the clan hall, defeat the boss there, and there we go. Just be advised that the Wintersun area can be somewhat tough. There's a lot of hard encounters there, but most of them can be avoided, besides the boss at the village that is. On the other hand, completing Wintersun early during chapter 3 will also give you one whole level and a half, so can be great for experience. After that you can just leave Wintersun and head back to Dresden on foot. And there we go, as soon as we left, the random encounter where we'll get Finnean. You will meet these Baphomet cultists here, who will be talking about Finnean. Simply defeat them, especially the invisible conjurer back here.
I will resist.
And there we go. Now all you have to do is head to your inventory, click on the Finnean icon as I taught you before, select Start Dialogue, and then the first option, we got ambushed by cultists who spoke of some bladesmith. That's all you need to do. The quest will be updated, And Finnean will now be his very powerful +3 version, a +3 Brilliant Energy and Heartseeker weapon that also deals an additional 1d6 force damage. Honestly, Finnean's +3 version is one of the best weapons in the game. Brilliant Energy alone is massive. You can ignore up to around 8 to 9 armor class of most of the very tough enemies you meet in the game, especially on hard and unfair. Heartseeker is also great because you bypass any concealment the enemy might have. Now the only downside to Brilliant Energy is that you cannot harm undead or construct enemies. If you try to attack one of these enemies with Finnean +3 or +5, all you get is this message. Attack harmlessly passes through, so your attack won't do anything at all. There's honestly not that many constructs at all in the game. I can only truly recall 2 encounters with golems, and as far as undead there are some, but they tend to be in undead heavy areas, so you pretty much know when you're going to meet them. And just remember, you can easily switch to another weapon whenever you are facing against undead and constructs. Now for the final +5 upgrade of Finnean, you'll have to go to the Bladesmith workshop area to the southwestern part of the map during chapter 5. Simply head there and then defeat the Bladesmith enemy. And before that you can actually choose to either release Finnean's soul or keep him as a weapon. Now, releasing his soul might be the good align option, but it's also the worst option as far as gameplay power, because it will basically just turn Finnean into the default longsword +5 version. And if your character doesn't care for longswords, well, there's not much you can do. So if you want to keep Finnean's ability to turn into other weapons, pick the chaotic version instead. The LICH mythic path also has a specific option here. You have to defeat a lot of animated weapons, and they can be somewhat tough, so be prepared. As a bonus, remember that you can also find the very powerful and best metamagic rod in the game, the Grandmaster's Rod, right here by looting this chest. Now, as far as the +5 version of Finnean, well, amusingly enough, it's actually weaker than his +3 version, that's right. Notice how the +5 only has Brilliant Energy, and that's it. Meanwhile, the +3 version has Heartseeker and also an extra 1d6 force damage on hit. Do remember that you can simply turn the +3 version into +5 enhancement by just casting the Greater Magic Weapon spell that most Divine and Full Arcane casters have access to, just like this. There we go. So now Finnean +3 is +5. Honestly, even as early as chapter 3, you'll already be able to turn the +3 version into +5, as you already have 8 caster level minimum, which is enough to add a +2 bonus over the +3 it starts with. But it kinda is the way it is, and if you do his quest at chapter 5, you'll be stuck with the +5 version. There are also other ways of increasing the power of your Finnean through certain classes, such as with a Magus character or a Spirit Hunter like CAMELLIA. You can actually enhance Finnean even further by adding loads of elemental damage and even other useful properties like Holy and Axiomatic depending on your alignment and class. Alright, so this was it for Finnean's guide, everyone. If you liked this video, then please support the channel if you can by subscribing and even becoming a member for exclusive perks such as requesting personal videos on any RPG topic you want, and even get to choose what other RPGs I will talk about next. Thank you for watching and see you next time, friends!